If you've been trying to get your cleaning business off of the ground and you're struggling and it's not really working out, or it's not what you thought it might be, you could be making one of these mistakes. If you are, I'm going to tell you what they are and how to get over them. But before we hop into that, what is going on? Mike Mak here, founder of AutomatedCleaningBusiness.com, and I'm back with another video. And I'm back and I'm speaking to you directly if you have been trying to get your cleaning service off of the ground, specifically office cleaning. It's just been struggling. You've been on the struggle bus, so to speak. Like, you're not making a traction in your area, you're not getting any leads, and if you are getting leads, maybe you're going on walkthroughs, but you're ultimately falling flat. It's not nearly what you thought, and then maybe you're starting to get discouraged about, was this actually the right decision? If that is you, then this video is for you. All right, so without further ado, let's get into those 3 potential mistakes that you might be making that might be really holding you back from getting where you want to be with your cleaning service. Let's jump into it now. All right, the first mistake that might be holding you back is blending in. Yes, unfortunately, I see that way too much in this industry. Way too much. Too many cleaning services out there. I'm sorry, you're way too cookie cutter. You look and sound like everyone else, and you are doing yourself a disservice. Why? Well, I want you to look at it from your client's perspective, because I think it'd be easier to look at it that way than to just listen to what I'm saying. Let's say you are running a big time medical practice, or just something like a medium-sized office where you typically are paying $5 to $10K per month for cleaning services. You know what? To make this even more real, picture you're the practice manager running a busy medical office. I mean, you have so much to think about. You have to think about your staff. You have to think about, your boss and the expectations there, and your patients, and it's a never-ending amount of things that you have to think about when you are managing a thriving practice like that. Now, I ask you, with all of those things on your plate, what's the last thing you want to be thinking about? If you guessed cleaning, you're probably right. I would say cleaning among other things like cleaning the cable, all the magazines being delivered. So, the waiting room has plenty of magazines, the Wi-Fi. I mean, all of those things, you just want to pay for them and not think about them anymore. So when one of those things stops working, whether it be the Wi-Fi or the cleanliness of the space just goes to hell, it's been really bad. Is that something that you think that you would want to think about when you have all these other super duper important tasks on your plate? The answer is, of course, no. No, they just want to pay these things and just know that they work. But when they don't work, they are looking for a fast solution. And when they start looking for other cleaning services, since everyone looks the same, there's no real value advantage to picking one over the other, so they end up taking the lower bid. That's right. If you are like everyone else, if you are blending in with everyone else, how in the world are you going to win bids? Especially if you're not the cheapest. Guys, if you're making that mistake, you really have to set yourself apart. And that's what this channel is all about. Everything I tell you is in here because I had that same breakthrough. When I owned a franchise years ago, that was my first cleaning service. There is no way to set yourself apart because the franchise didn't believe in that. The franchise, they were just picking up the phones and they were dialing to get their clients. And ultimately, I believe that put them at a disadvantage because accounts were constantly underbid. And when you're underbid, that's no bueno for anyone. Let's get to the second thing. All right, the second major reason that could be holding you and your cleaning service back from getting to a place where you're actually really happy with this business, it's a big one. And I'll get into it in a second. Before I do, if you are finding this video valuable, then I want you to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos just like this weekly to help you get unstuck with your cleaning service and eventually automate it to multiple 6 figures and possibly beyond. That's long-winded. Anyway, back to the video. All right, and that second thing is competing on price. It's a little bit of a spillover from one, but even if you are setting yourself apart, you're less likely to be competing on price, but you could still fall into that trap, and that is going to hurt profitability big time. Listen, there's no reason for you not to price accounts the way they should be priced. It's better for everyone involved. It's better for you, obviously, the business owner. It's better for your cleaners, obviously, to make sure they are well taken care of. And of course, it's better for your client. Why? Because you can invest in better materials, you can invest in better solutions, you can train your cleaners better, get them more educated on the newest things in the industry. What are some newer ways people are cleaning? What are some more efficient ways people are cleaning? Ultimately, it leads to a better service as well as customer service. If you, the business owner, aren't profitable, then you aren't in a position to separate yourself from the business, and you're definitely not in a position to hire managers and then ultimately making sure each client is getting the attention to detail they need. It's just better. It's just, I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's just so much better. So you have to show clients that. But if you just look like everyone else and then you just say, I'm going to compete on price, that is no way to display value. Because at the end of the day, what they really want from you is peace of mind. They just want to know it's taken care of. They don't want to hear about how awesome that you think you are. And because everyone says it, and because every cleaning service believes they're the best cleaning service on town, they put it on their website, all that does to your potential client is confuse them, and then it puts them in a position where, all right, I got 7 proposals here, I guess this one's the cheapest, I'll take this one. Which will leave you walking away from saying, oh, these people are so cheap, they don't want to invest in cleaning, this is probably not a good service. That's baloney, homie. Those are excuses. The sooner you can convince yourself of that, the sooner you can go high ticket with your cleaning service. Let's get to the third one. All right, the third and final reason why you're probably in a position where you're not going as fast as you want, or you're just flat out struggling, is you are not an expert. Well, you may be an expert. You may have been cleaning for 36 years. You may have all the certificates one could ever want or desire, and all these things that you think makes you an expert. But in reality, if you don't position your company like an expert, you're kind of screwing yourself. Because while all of those things do help, it helps that you have a background. Of course, that's not a disadvantage, it's an advantage. You obviously care about detail, and you could probably train people to get really good at it. So that's definitely not a bad thing. I'm definitely not saying that's a bad thing. If anything, it's a real good thing. But you waste it. You waste all of that knowledge when you don't position your company like an expert. When I say that, most people think that means, yeah, I should put it on my website how great we are. It's the exact opposite. I don't want you to brag. I just want you to make your messaging about them. Just make your messaging about them. Some people overlook this. I mean, guys, it's a simple business, and it's a great industry that can make you as much money as you desire. But you can't treat it like your clients are a bunch of like simpletons that are just gonna see your website and say, oh wow, they're so amazing because they told me they're amazing. They must be an expert. No, it's the opposite. If you're struggling to understand what I'm talking about, think about an expert cardiologist in your area. Now I have to ask you, when's the last time you got a cold call from a cardiologist office getting you to come in and see the cardiologist? You don't. Why? Because this cardiologist is an expert and they're positioned that way. And usually experts don't have to be desperate reaching out to you. Now, there's nothing wrong with outreach, but it's how we outreach. So this problem of yours, the reason why you're not positioned as an expert has really not that much to do with your website, which it is important, but it's more so how you're reaching out to people. Because if you're reaching out by, let's say, cold calling or doing anything really cold, and you're coming across desperate on top of that, you're not going to seem like an expert. You're not going to seem like somebody who's really good at what they do. Your company is going to seem like everyone else that's been calling them the exact same way on YouTube, looking for the best cold call scripts. I'm not saying it doesn't work at all. I'm saying if you want great clients consistently, that is not the way. You have to be an expert. Please, I hope this gets through to you. If it is getting through to you, hit me with that like button. That means a lot. And also comment expert if I got through and you're like, all right, I'm gonna make some changes with my cleaning service. All right, so I truly hope you take everything I told you and you put it into action. It's not good enough to just listen to knowledge. You actually have to put the stuff into practice for you to see the results. Do this for at least 30 days and you are going to see a real big difference. That's it for this video. I'm out of here. If you want my help, click the first link in the description. If you want another video, watch this one right here. It's a good one. Peace.